Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down.
So I just want to give you guys a quick word of encouragement for those of you who want to rededicate your life to Christ, but you may be thinking like, you know, church, what is there for me to do at church? Like, you know, like you feel as though it's the right thing to do, or you know it's the right thing to do, but you're just not ready to commit yet because you feel as though your active lifestyle, or you know, you have to straighten up certain things, may kind of hinder you from going back. Like, church has a lot of different things to offer you at every stage in your life, trust me. But you just have to do your due diligence to find a congregation that is accepting of you and will be appreciative of the talents and the skills that you bring towards that church. And like, so there's definitely things there to keep you interactive, definitely things there for you to help build up the kingdom. And you know, it's a really good environment. Like, for example, me myself, you know, and then sometimes you feel like, you know, churches, like some churches are like all about money, or you know, and you feel as though like, well, you can't go because you don't have like enough money to give back, or people are going to look at you a certain way. It's not, church is not all about money. It's not all about offering. At the end of the day, it's about the focus on God and what you can do to benefit and help build up the kingdom. If you have talents that you can give to the Lord to help build up his kingdom, I'm sure he's appreciative of it. Like, you know, churches don't run on air. Churches always need people to help out and work. And, you know, obviously it's good to, you know, to give back financially when you have the means to, because, you know, the rent got to get paid, outreach ministries have to get done. Like, for a church to be able to do all of these different things, there has to be money. But anyways, I'm straying off the point. So like, for example, for my church, we have over 20 different ministries, and there's something there for everyone. Like, for me, example, like, so Mundo's on buildings and grounds ministry as well as media, and on buildings and grounds, he basically just helps to assist to like clean up the place, make sure that things are done, if they need a little paint and stuff here. And that works for him because it's similar to what he does at work, right? Then for me, I'm on media as well as special occasions, which is perfect for me because, as I told you guys before, I plan events as well as do graphic design. I am able to use my talents to help build up the Lord's kingdom and, you know, just give back in that way. You know, everything is not always about money. Use your talents, use your time for God, use it for good. We also have different things like outreach ministry, where you go out and, you know, try to help bring people to Christ. We have fellowship, stay after and we fellowship, have a meal with each other. But the fellowship team also comes in play when we have baby showers, when we have other events, when we have outreach programs that include food. There's just so many different things. We have like a transportation ministry. You can help, you know, get the senior citizens or the people without a vehicle to the church building. We have youth, single, married. We just have so many different things. And, you know, like sometimes some people feel as though they're not in a particular stage in life where God will accept you. God will accept you at whatever stage you are in. For example, like there's some single people that feel like, oh, you know, they can't go to church because they're not married, or, you know, how are they gonna look going to church without a spouse? And, you know, that's insane. So like our congregation, we have a singles group, which is really nice. I can't speak on behalf of them, but I participate in the marriage group, and it's just really nice because then you're around people that are going through similar situations as you. We have many different age levels or age groups within that married couples ministry, and it's really nice because you can hear from the older couples and they can share their experiences with you, as well as the younger couples share their experiences with you, and we're able to like bounce back off of each other to kind of help strengthen our marriages. And we have lots of different fun activities. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean that your life turns into like this boring show and you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere or whatever. Like, you can still do the majority of things that you can do. Yes, it's not good. Like, for example, if you guys listen to my what vlog? It was a Sunday vlog. I think it was either Vlogmas Day 11 or so, when I was talking about Christian liberty. And he was basically saying, like, you know, there's some people out there that still drink wine, and the Bible doesn't say that it's wrong, but as a Christian, you have to use your judgment. You have to think about your influence that you're going to have on other people. So if you're the type of person that, you know, the only thing that's hindering you from going back to church is a glass of wine, you know, once a month, twice a month, whatever, once a week, then you shouldn't allow that to hinder you. You know, you shouldn't allow that to stop you from going. Even if you're the type of person that you do like wild out crazy things that you know that you're not supposed to do, church is a support system. Being closer to God is a support system. If there are dirty habits that you want to kick, that should be your support system to help you, you know, transform. But you want to make sure that you're in an environment that's telling you the truth, where you're going in the direction that the Lord wants you to go in based on the instructions that He has left for us. What else was I gonna say? I just had something else to say, y'all, and I forgot. But yeah. Oh no, this is what I was gonna say. So like, a lot of times, and this goes on to, I know I'm kind of like all over the place, but it's just on my heart to talk about, as far as like when it comes to like people's different perspectives on religion and church, on, you know, different things to do. Like I always tell people, I always think to myself, I'm like, even if in the end of everything, if God isn't real, don't come for me. I believe in God, clearly. But if God isn't real, and, you know, I was consistently going to church and all of these things, at the end of my life, I have a great, awesome support system that I could look back on. I have great memories. I have great influences that, you know, try to steer me in the more moral way of life. The more that try to help, you know, make sure that I'm around people that are trying to help me make sure that I am, you know, a good person at the end of the day. Because outside of God, even if there wasn't a God, you still want to be a person who is good. You still want to be a person that, you know, people can talk to and get comfort from, and, you know, all those different things. So it's not all just about religion at church. Like there's many other different factors. Yes, God is the reason why we do a lot of the things that we do, but there's so much more there as well. Like when my family and when my twins, and I'm gonna make a whole dedicated video about, you know, my twins' journey from, you know, being premature and being told that they were gonna die all the way up until now, because God has worked miracles in my life, and this is not the video for that. But yeah, so when I'll just give you guys a little tidbit. We were in the hospital for about a month. And so my husband did not work for a month. I did not work for a month. The church raised thousands of dollars for my family to help assist us. And then not only that, we had visitors outside of that special donation to my family. They came and out of their pockets gave us money. Like we did not have to worry about, you know, rent or the fact that we both missed a month of work. We didn't have to worry about that. And at the end of the day, that is what it's about. It's about support, love, and showing genuine care for others. And so to bring that all back to what I am saying, there's just so many different ways that you can assist. Because even in that situation, there were certain people who could not maybe give financially in the way that they wanted to, but I always had a phone call. I was always receiving encouragement. I got millions of cards, as well as, you know, people made us meals and made sure that we had snacks and made sure that we were comfortable and made sure that we were uplifted, you know. So there's just so much to having your support system and church. And I know that there's a lot of people, and I've been talking for like almost 11 minutes now. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys, but there's a lot of people out there, and they see me and they're just like, girl, how do you do it? How did you do it? Like they see a picture of my kids when they were first born, to all of the things that we're going through up until this point, and they're like, how do you do it? And it's like, number one, God. Number two, I have a bomb support system. Like, my family is awesome, but my church family is equally as awesome as my personal family. So if you are having struggles with your personal family, you don't have support from them, you need to find you a bomb home church community that you can support, that you can rely on, with people who genuinely care for you. Anyway, that is my rant for right now. My camera just told me that they're splitting this in half because this file is too long. That means that I've been talking for a very long time. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have to press these tablecloths and make the centerpieces. Some of the centerpieces I may set up on site though. So as I was saying, I have this green translucent ribbon here that I'll be using. I had it from a different event where I didn't end up using it, and I don't know the next time that I'll use this. I get these big packages here from a bulk like floral shop near where I live, and this is like 100 yards of 5/8 inch. I also have gold, like a metallic gold, which would be nice for the season, but I don't know when else. But I'll use that before I use this. So anyway, I'm just gonna do something super simple today. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lay, you can't see all of my napkin, but it's just laid out flat. Then I'm gonna take my first point here and meet the second point and make a triangle, you see? Then I'm gonna take each side, each corner of my napkin, and I'm gonna have them meet each other. Then I'm just gonna roll it. And then I'm gonna place this, and I'm rolling it about 2.5 inches. Just gonna cut that. I think I kind of want it like this. Do I, or do I want it like that? We'll see. Maybe like this with the bow. And then I'm just going to tie a bow on it. I wish I had like some Christmas small picks, some like mini picks. I think that would look really cute. So I don't need such a big, I don't need so much. So I'm going to cut that down. And I'm going to use this ribbon here as my measuring ribbon for all of the other ones. So now I'm just going to go ahead and measure them out and cut 30 of them, because that is how you get your work done in a more reasonable time. You don't want to cut each ribbon one by one by one, roll one by one by one. You kind of want to cut them in bulk so that as you finish one step, you can move right on to the next. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish these napkins, and then I'll show you guys the next project that I have for today. So guys, this is what my napkins are looking like now that they're all folded. It's on to the next project. Okay guys, remember that this is a vlog, it's not a tutorial. So I'm showing you guys this as I go, vlog style. Alright guys, so these are the things that I found. I have some garland left over. I have these LED candles. I have these lanterns here from IKEA. Some red roses that are velvet-y, have like a velvet. What I'm talking about, these are not roses. Red hydrangeas that have a velvet finish with a bit of glitter on it from a project previously. And these tall, I want to say these are about 18-inch vases, cylinder vases, as well as I also found, I have these reindeers here that we purchased. Guys, shh. Go see y'all's room and eat that, please. We have these reindeers here that I purchased at Christmas Tree Shop in silver and gold. I have this polyfill here that I can use as snow if I want to, from a project that I never did. It turned out that this wasn't what I needed, and I never returned it. I'll tell you guys how long I've had this here. I kept the receipt in the bag. I've had this since 2015 and I never used it, so this would be a good time to get rid of it out of my house. These ornaments here that I got from my mom, and I'm very happy because they're really nice size. They're not super large, and they're all consistent in color. So I'm actually going to test it to see how much it will take to fill up the cylinder vases here. And I have, oh Oh no, I don't have to do 3. I only have to do 2. Yay! So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour those ornaments in there. Whoa, 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 whoa! Ornament falling. Do something simple like that, and then I'm gonna. You know what though? I had cut these all up. So I'm gonna have to slither this down. Yes? Yes, we can do that. There we go. Good solution. Good solution. Now I'm just gonna take a knife and I am going to trim this down because I was trying to stretch the hydrangeas, so I had cut them piece by piece, like stem by stem if you would, apart so that I could fluff it the way that I wanted to. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to slice this, maybe make it like a little wedge before I hit something else. All right, let's see if that's gonna work. And then I'm gonna have to take out some ornaments. I don't want the foam to show. I did not want to be cutting foam. It gets everywhere. Yeah, I think that works a little better, and then I can kind of just stick. You guys seen that? I can just stick these down in there like so, and then stick that back into the foam. Yay me! Yay me! So I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna be hiding the foam. I have some of these available that I could use to kind of hide the green because I really don't want my foam to show. Okay. So I need an ornament down here. There. Now I'm gonna put more stems in here, but I left the rest of the stems in the car because some of them I'm gonna be assembling at church. So I'm gonna add some more in here to make it like more full. But this is gonna be one of our centerpieces tonight. Simple centerpieces and quick centerpieces. I'm not 100% in love with the hydrangea centerpiece, so if this turns out, depending on how this turns out, all right, I have too many in there. No space to waste. I'm gonna take out a few because they're going all the way up to the top, and I don't need them to because I want it to look like it's at the top, but because there's just a black brim here and I'm gonna add some of the garland there, that should work.
Look at the Jimmy
Let's see. All right, I think that's gonna work. Now these were hanging out for a bit, so I'm gonna just dust it. And I only have a few minutes to get these done. Guys, I'm heading out now. It is 7:24 and the event starts in 6 minutes. So I'm running behind, but that's okay because I already did my part and set up and everything. And usually they, you know, kind of hang out for about a half an hour until everyone gets in there. But I'm really liking it. I did a flat twist in the front of my hair with a little perm rod at the end, and I feel like it matches really nicely with the wig, so I'm very pleased with that. But anyways, I'm going to run out of here before it gets way too late. All right, I'll see you guys.
I'm gonna ask each couple
to introduce each other. Each person is going to say one thing that they like about the other.
I call her the pretty lady. Also, love her ever so much. And I guess what I love most about her is she cares so much for me. And she shows it, you know, great cook. just an overall caring, fixing me my hot chocolate every morning. Just a pretty lady.
I love that you're smart, kind, and generous, right? And you think I'm perfect.
Tell him that he cannot be trusted because don't look good. And no matter what I'm wearing or he always says that I look amazing.
Hey everyone, so it's currently midnight. It's 2 minutes past midnight and everyone is pretty much sleeping. I just put Savannah down to bed. Even though she did not want to go, she kept on trying to fight me to go to bed, which got a little frustrating, but I was just like, listen, if you don't get into bed, I'm just going to shut the lights off and you'll put yourself to bed. And that kind of helped her because I took her in every night. When we have time, we read a book and we always say our prayers. And she looks forward to that time at the end of the night. But the couple's holiday celebration was really, really fun. And the same thing that I was telling you guys about a little earlier is what happened when we got there. You get to hear, you know, like different things, different stories of the couples, what brought them to each other, what they love about each other. Very encouraging. And it was fun. Lots of laughs and stuff. It was just a really nice mix. We also had like some newlyweds that hadn't been to the couples class yet, or like our activities, and they seemed as though they were really enjoying themselves, so that's a blessing. But I'm tired right now. For the holiday celebration, it's not like it's kind of like a little party basically. Typically, one of the big things that we do a swap, and you get to list a few things. We do it like the way I told you guys at my family. We do it the way like my family does it. You list a few things that you would like. $25 or under. The person that gets you pick something off of that list and gets it for you. But then the special part is that you get a card to fill out to the person who should receive the gift from you. And basically in the card it could be like a word of encouragement or thanking them for influencing you in some way, somehow, things that you admire about them, you know, just a nice card that you can give on. And then we had dinner, obviously it was really good, and then a lot of fellowship time, and then we revisited the 5 love languages quiz. This is a book that's by Dr. Gary Chapman, and he has the 5 love language test. Now the test is free, the book isn't, but the book is actually a really good read. And the whole gist of the book is that sometimes we're not speaking to our spouse's love language, and sometimes that can cause conflict within our relationship. So there is 5 categories, and so the categories are words of affirmation, meaning that like your husband might say, oh babe, you look good today, I love the way you look, or you're doing you're doing a great job with this. You know, it's just kind of like admiring you with words or building you up with words, so on and so forth, because that is really important to some people. The next category is quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch. So basically there's a series of questions that they ask, and so I'll just give you guys a few. So it says, I like to receive notes of affirmation from you. That's one question. I like when you hug me. And so for example, that would be question 1. So you have, there's 30 questions. Let me see if I can show you guys, 'cause I could probably show you better than I could tell you. Hope you guys can see. So like that's 1, and there's a letter here, there's a letter there. Each letter relates to the category. Then 2 letter, but they're 2 separate questions. So you have to circle the one that best fits you. And then so in the end, and it's funny, your love language can change. So it's good to go through this at times. I remember when we first did this, my love language was physical touch. Then after we had the kids, my love language was acts of service. And basically, you know, physical touch initially, that's kind of like when you're first married. And, you know, I'm not saying that. There's still people like my aunt, she's been married. She just had a 20-year anniversary. And she had a beautiful renewal. And her love language is still physical touch. But for me, I've noticed that mine has changed. And physical touch used to be it, which is still pretty high because I'll tell you guys my results. Words of affirmation and quality time are my number 1. Acts of service and physical touch are my number 2 because they came in like equal numbers, like 7, 7, 6, 6. And then the last one that matters the least to me is receiving gifts. Like I was saying, in the past, physical touch used to be my number 1. Then when we had kids and the housework was becoming like overwhelming to me, and just, you know, my day-to-day routine was just like too much. Whenever my husband would do something like help out with the laundry, vacuum, or whatever, I really felt like he really appreciated me, or he was really paying attention to my struggles and really just trying to help me along the way. And when he does that now, it still means a lot to me. Like, he's committed to doing the laundry, and he's been doing a really good job with that. And I'm appreciative of that because laundry is one of those things where I don't really like doing laundry, but I have to do it. And because of his consistency, it's been inspiring me to be even more consistent with the laundry as well. Acts of service used to be my number 1. Now, words of affirmation and quality time are the things that mean more to me. And I feel like maybe it's because quality time, we haven't been able to really have that much after the kids, as well as like with his new schedule. Even though it's temporary, it's not permanent. That is something that means a lot to me now because I'm not getting as much as I would like to, as well as words of affirmation. When my husband tells me like, oh, you know, you did a good job at that, or this food tastes good, or you look very beautiful, or something, it really means a lot to me. So I think that's the reason why my scores came in the way that they did now. And I think it's okay that your scores may change, or your results change, but this is definitely a good little test to do, just so that you can kind of like tune in to see where your spouse is in their mental space. Because you may take this test with them initially and say, oh, receiving gifts is their number 1, and it's like, you know, you buy them all of these different things, or these, and I don't mean necessarily very expensive things or whatever the case may be, because some people, it could be a little $5 item and they're happy with that. You know, and I mean, everybody likes receiving gifts, but it's more important to others than to some. And that's perfectly fine. Whatever floats your boat is whatever floats your boat. But all I'm saying is it makes sense to check in with your spouse periodically to see where they are mentally, physically, and emotionally. And this definitely helps. I remember when I was reading the book, it's just kind of like things you don't even think about. Some of the things you didn't even realize. Like when I'm like, 5 love language, what is that? That doesn't even, you know, like I've never heard of that before. But as we read the book, I started to realize, like, man, it's a really good read. And a lot of times we are in conflict with our spouse because we're not speaking to their love language. You know, you're giving me words of affirmation, but what I really need for you to do is help me with the things that you're giving me words of affirmation towards. So like, oh babe, you're doing a really good job with keeping up with the housework, but it's like, I would really appreciate acts of service if you would help spread the bed or do the laundry or wash the dishes, or you know what I mean? Like, so definitely, if you guys got an opportunity, like I said before, the author of this book is Dr. Gary Chapman. But if you don't want to buy the book, should definitely even just take the test. But the book is also worth your money. But anyways, I've been talking for a few minutes now. Started when it was 2 past 12. Now it is 12 past 12. It's 12:12. And I'm gonna go to bed because I've been finding myself going to bed later and later and later, and I really don't like that. I'd prefer to get up earlier and go to bed earlier. I've been going to bed like 2 o'clock in the morning, which is ridiculous. So I'm gonna go freshen up and head on to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching today's vlog. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Troubles will be out of sight. I'm a big deal. Yeah, me and my friend, I'm a big deal. Wanna listen up? You know I'm very important. Important for real. And let me tell you straight, I'm a big deal.